Champions are built, not born. No one wakes up great. No one is handed success. Champions are carved from the grind, from the pain, from the dark nights and early mornings. Every champion you admire, every name you chant, every story you celebrate, it was forged, not gifted. And that's where we start. Because too many people believe greatness is a gift. It's not. It's a decision. It's a lifestyle. It's sacrifice. You've got to understand, every champion had a moment when they were nobody. No spotlight, no applause, just a dream and a decision. A decision to show up when no one else would. A decision to keep pushing when everything says stop. Champions aren't born with more talent. They just refuse to quit. They refuse to settle. They said, if I've got to bleed, I'll bleed. If I've got to cry, I'll cry, but I won't back down. It's not about the start, it's about the grind. See, everybody starts somewhere, but most people quit before they ever see results. They quit when it gets hard. They quit when it doesn't come fast. Champion, they lean in when it hurts. They go harder when others slow down. Get up every day and ask yourself, what am I building today? And then go build, go sweat, go push past your limits, because that's the blueprint. That's the path to greatness. Champions are built in the moments of decision, the moment when it's easier to quit, but you keep going. The moment when your body screams to stop, but your heart says just one more. The moment when fear knocks and you answer with courage. Those moments, they're everything. Stack enough of them and you build something unbreakable. And here's the truth. It's not going to be fair. Life doesn't care how hard you work. Life doesn't reward effort. Life rewards results. Champions understand that. That's why they don't whine. They don't complain. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them. They build their mindset. They train their emotions. They take control of their world. If you're not willing to suffer, you're not ready to succeed. Because greatness comes with a price. And champions, they pay it in full. They don't ask for discounts. They don't negotiate with the grind. They embrace it, they run toward it, and they know the more it hurts, the stronger they become. Every rep, every step, every setback is all part of the build. You're not losing, you're learning, you're not failing, you're forming, you're not breaking, you're becoming. You are building your championship DNA every single day. In the moment you truly believe that, the moment you embrace the work, the pain, the lonely nights, that's when you unlock the next level. You don't need more time. You don't need more chances. You need more heart. You need to lock in. You need to say, I'm not leaving this level until I master it. Champions don't skip steps. They dominate each one. They own their growth. They take pride in their discipline. They don't care who's watching. They know who they are, and that identity, that's what cares and when motivation fades. Stop saying I can't. Stop saying I can't. Stop saying maybe. Stop blaming your past, your circumstances, your struggles. Champions rise from the same pain you're facing. The only difference is they decided they wouldn't stay there. They made a choice. And if they can do it, so can you. Look in the mirror and make the decision. No more excuses. No more. People love the idea of success, but they hate what it costs. They want the results, but not the sacrifice. They want the victory, but not the battle. They want to be seen as champions, but they don't want to train like one, live like one, think like one. But the truth is, if you want to become something you've never been, you've got to do things you've never done. You got to suffer like you've never suffered. You've got to break through your limits and redefine what's possible for you. There's a voice in your head right now. That voice tells you, you can't do this. That voice whispers, you tired. You're not good enough. It's too hard. That voice wants you to quit. But let me tell you something. Champions don't listen to that voice. Champions talk back. They say, I've come too far to quit now. They say a pain is part of the price. They say, I'm not backing down. I'm not folding. I'm not going anywhere. Champions control their mindset. They don't wait to feel motivated. They don't rely on emotion. They train their minds to stay locked in when the body wants to give up. You don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to be the smartest, but you got to be the hungriest. You got to be the most consistent. You got to be the one who says, and no matter what, I'm showing up. Talent might get you started, but discipline is what finishes the job. Champions fall in love with the process. They're addicted to climb. They don't chase success. They're attracted by the level of work they're willing to put in. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Everybody wants the title, but not everybody wants the training. They want the result, but not the routine. The championship mindset is I don't care how I feel. Care how I feel. I'm doing it anyway. Champions understand that feelings are temporary, but legacy is forever, and they're playing for legacy. They're building something that lasts longer than the pain. Champions are not afraid of failure. They welcome it because failure is part of the blueprint. You don't learn when everything's perfect. You grow when it falls apart. You grow when it hurts. You grow when the plan doesn't work and you have to adapt, adjust, and come back strong. Champions don't quit when they lose. They dig deeper, they analyze, they re-strategize, and they come back with fire in their eyes. You got to decide who you want to be, not just in front of the crowd, but when no one is watching. Because character is built in isolation. Identity is formed in the shadows. Champions aren't just great when the cameras are on. They're great in the dark. They put in work when there's no applause. They practice habits when no one is there to praise them. And those habits become who they are. No one is going to hand it to you. No one is going to call you up one day and say, here's your dream. You got to fight for it. You got to sacrifice for it. You've got to hurt for it. You've got to hurt for it. That dream you're carrying, it's not going to be easy, but it's possible. It's possible if you stop making excuses. It's possible if you stop blaming your circumstances. It's possible if you take responsibility for your life and lock in on your mission. So you got to walk like a champion, talk like a champion, think like a champion before you ever win anything. Champions are built, not born. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. It's easier to believe that greatness is reserved for a chosen few, that some people come into this world already destined to succeed. It's easier to tell ourselves that they were born with something we don't have. They don't just love winning. They love the work it takes to win. They fall in love with the grind. They fall in love with the struggle because they understand that's where the being built. Your environment matters. The people you surround yourself with matter. What separates a champion from the rest is not talent. It's not genetics. It's not luck. It's heart. It's discipline. It's hunger. It's the willingness to keep going when everything in you said stop. But champions develop the ability to keep fighting, to keep grinding, to keep pushing it, even when they don't feel like it. It's easy to work when you're motivated. It's easy to grind when you're excited. But champions don't rely on motivation. Champions are driven by discipline. Your mom will try to break you. Your mom will try to convince you to quit. Your mom will try to protect you from discomfort. Champions master their mind. Champions take control of the conversation in their head. Champions speak life over themselves. They tell themselves, I will not quit. I will not break. I will not stop until I win. Champions feed their faith, not their fear. They focus on what they can do, not what they can't. Most people want support. Most people want people to believe in them. Champions believe in themselves when no one else does. Champions encourage themselves when no one else is around. Champions are their own biggest fan. They don't wait for someone to push them. They push themselves. You have to want it so bad that you are willing to go through the pain. You have to want it so bad that you are willing to be misunderstood. You have to want it so bad that you are willing to suffer. The dream will cost you something. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you time. It will cost you energy. It will cost you relationship. It will cost you sleep. It will cost you everything. But it will give you something that comfort never can. It will give you greatness. It will give you the life you were meant to live. Champions move with urgency. They don't waste time. They don't waste time. They don't procrastinate. They understand that every moment wasted is a step further from their goal. They don't wait for tomorrow. They attack today. They show up every single day with intensity, with passion, with purpose. Champions don't get lucky. They get relentless. They don't hope for success. They prepare for it. They work for it. They grind for it. They earn it. And when they win, they don't stop. They don't get comfortable. They go back to work. They go back to the grind. Because champions know the work never stops. The hunger never fades. The mission is never over. If you want to be great, if you want to build a life of purpose, you have to get serious. You have to get focused. You have to get committed. You have to become obsessed. Success is not a sometimes thing. It's an all the time thing. Champions live it. Champions breathe it. Champions bleed for it. You have to make a decision. You have to decide that you will not quit. You have to decide that you will outwork everybody else. You have to decide that you will stay committed no matter what. You have to decide that you will build yourself. You will grind. You will push. You will fight because nobody is born a champion. Champions are built. And today is the day you start building. Champions are not born. They are built, molded, refined, and tested through fire. Too many people sit around waiting for something magical to happen, thinking maybe one day the stars will align, luck will show up, and everything will fall into place. But it doesn't work like that. If you're waiting for greatness to be handed to you, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. You don't get to the top by chance. You get there through choice, through grind, through the kind of work that nobody sees but everybody respects when it pays off. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success. But the difference between a dreamer and a champion is that the champion doesn't just want it. They're willing to suffer for it. They're willing to sacrifice for it. They're willing to bleed, to fail, to hurt, and to rise again. Champions don't expect easy. They don't beg for breaks. They don't look for shortcuts. They know the process is the price, and they pay it with discipline and hunger, day after day. The journey to greatness isn't a straight road. It's a climb full of setbacks, obstacles, and moments where you question everything. Moments where your body is tired, your mind is screaming, and your heart is doubting. But champions push through that noise. They dig deep and keep moving forward, not because it's easy, but because they know the dream demands it. There is no plan B. There is no backup. Just forward, just now, just more. People talk about talent like it's everything, but talent without effort is wasted potential. I've seen people with average talent rise to incredible heights because they outwork everyone else in the room. I've seen naturally gifted people fall off because they relied on talent and refused to embrace the grind. The truth is, talent might give you a head start, but consistency will take you across the finish line. Champions master the basics. They don't skip steps. They don't skip steps. They don't get bored with repetition. They understand that success isn't about doing something once. It's about doing the right thing over and over until it becomes who you are. They practice the fundamentals with focus and intensity because they know greatness isn't found in flashy moments. It's built through boring, discipline, through waking up at 5 a.m. when you don't feel like it, through saying no to distractions when everyone else is saying yes. Most people quit when they feel discomfort, but champions are different. Champions recognize that discomfort is the gateway to growth. They welcome it. They lean into it. They understand that pressure, pain, and resistance are not signs to stop. They are signs to push harder. Champions aren't afraid of the struggle. They know that struggle is the soil where strength is born. Every day, you have a choice: comfort or growth, ease or effort, excuses or execution. You don't get to be both comfortable and great. You don't get to be average and exceptional at the same time. Champions make the hard choice over and over until it becomes a habit, until it becomes their habit, until it becomes their identity, until they no longer have to think about it. It's just who they are. And here's the truth. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you your dream. If you want it, you've got to get up and go get it. Champions don't wait for permission. They don't hope someone will discover them. They create their own opportunities. They take responsibility. They stop blaming, stop complaining, start building. If the path doesn't exist, they make one. If the door is closed, they kick it open. They don't let anything or anyone stop them. Champions don't dwell on failure. They use it. They don't let losses define them. They let them refine them. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every fall is a lesson in disguise. Champions fail forward. They learn, they adapt, and they keep moving. Because failure is not the end. Quitting is. And champions refuse to quit. You've got to believe in yourself even when nobody else does. Even when the results aren't there yet. Even when people doubt you, laugh at you, or ignore you. Champions carry belief like armor. They protect it. They feed it. They speak it out loud. They visualize it. Because belief is the engine. It's what gets you out of bed. It's what makes you train when nobody's watching. It's what keeps you standing when everything else is falling apart. And let me tell you this. Greatness is not a destination. It's not a trophy or a title. It's a lifestyle. It's how you carry yourself every day, how you show up in the little things, how you show up in the little things, how you treat others, how you respond to adversity, how you stay locked in when no one's watching. Champions don't need an audience. Their work ethic speaks for them. Their discipline screams louder than their words. Stop waiting for motivation. It's not coming. Motivation is temporary. I saw it coming, the phone. Champions build habits. Champions live by principles. They don't ask themselves, do I feel like it? They ask what needs to be done, and then they do it over and over until it's automatic. There are no secrets, no magic formulas, just hard work, relentless focus, and insane discipline. That's the formula. That's what separates the elite from the average. Not talent, not background, not luck. Just the willingness to do what others want for as long as it takes. When the lights come on, when it's time to perform, when the moment is big, champions don't get ready. They stay ready. They've been putting in the work long before the world was watching. That's why they succeed. That's why they win. Because they respected the process when no one cared. They trained like it mattered because to them it did. If you want to be a champion, you got to decide right here, right now. No more half effort. No more waiting. No more second guessing. You've got to lock in. You've got to commit fully. Because once you do, the world starts to change, not because the world changes, but because you do. Your standards rise. Your focus sharpens. Your hunger multiplies. Don't just chase success. Become the focus, your grit, your resolve. Build discipline so strong that even on your worst day, you still show up. You have everything inside you right now to be great. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need to decide. Make that decision. Make it with your whole heart. And once you make it, don't look back. Burn the excuses. Burn the doubt. Burn the fear. Burn every option that leads to average. This is your time. This is your fight. And if you want it, go take it. Go build it with everything you got. Because champions aren't born. Champions are built. And you are in the making. Keep grinding, keep building, keep believing, keep believing. And one day the world will look at you and call you what you already know you are, a champion. Champions are built, not born. From the outside, it may seem like some people are destined for greatness, that they were gifted something at birth that the rest of us weren't. But that's a lie. It's a lie we tell ourselves so we can feel comfortable where we are. Champions aren't handed their titles, they earn them. They bleed for them, they sacrifice for them. They go through seasons of pain, of loneliness, of doubt, and they keep moving. Every day they wake up with a vision so loud it drowns out their excuses. Every morning they choose to fight, to grind, to suffer for their dream because they know success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work. You see, the process is where champions are made. It's not about the trophy. It's not about the applause. It's not about the medals or the likes or the followers. It's about what you're willing to do when no one is watching. It's about who you become in the dark. Champions are built in the early mornings when the world is asleep. In the late nights when the body says no, but the heart says keep going. Champions are built when you decide that failure is not the end, but the beginning of a new fight. Pain is the currency of success. You cannot buy greatness with comfort. You have to pay with sacrifice, with discipline, with relentless effort. You have to get up when life knocks you down, not because it feels good, but because your vision demands it. Every time you push through the pain, you are building something inside you that can't be broken. You are building a heart that can't be crushed, a spirit that refuses to quit. Champions don't rise because they never fail. They rise because they never stay down. Most people want the prize, but they don't want the process. They want the glory, but they don't want the grind. They want the title, but they're not willing to put in the time. Champions separate themselves not because they're the most talented, but because they are the most committed. Champions show up every day, whether they feel like it or not. They show up when they're tired. They show up when they're hurting. They show up when the odds are stacked against them. They show up as they know the secret. Success is not about feelings, it's about commitment. It's about commitment. There will be days when you don't want to keep going. There will be moments when everything in you says it's time to quit. But that's when you have to remember why you started. That's when you have to talk to yourself louder than your fears. Champions control their inner voice. They don't let doubt narrate their story. They speak life over themselves. They speak victory. They speak perseverance. When their mind says stop, their heart says fight. Champions have learned to master the battle within. There is no shortcut. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs, one painful step at a time. Champions don't cheat the grind because they know the grind will never cheat them. Every ounce of effort, every drop of sweat, every moment of discipline is adding up. Even when you can't see the results yet, the work is working. Champions trust the process. They stay focused on what they can control. Their attitude, their effort, their consistency. People will doubt you. People will laugh at you. People will walk away from you. But let them. Champions don't need external validation to keep moving. They are fueled by an internal fire that won't go out. They know that greatness is a lonely road. There will be times when you have to walk alone. There will be times when you have to encourage yourself. Champions don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for someone to motivate them. They move whether they feel supported or not. The difference between winning and losing is often just showing up one more day. It's pushing one more time when you feel like you've given everything. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. Champions are not extraordinary people. They are ordinary people with extraordinary determination. They refuse to let their dreams die. They refuse to settle. They refuse to live a life of regret. Discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. Discipline is what gets you up when the bed feels warm and the world feels cold. Discipline is what gets you to the gym, to the classroom, to the practice field when your body says no. Discipline is what keeps you grinding when the rewards seem far away. Champions are slaves to their discipline, not their emotions. It's not supposed to be easy. Easy doesn't build strength. Easy doesn't build character. Easy doesn't build champions. The hard, the uncomfortable, the painful, that's where the growth is. That's where the greatness is. Champions embrace the hard. They chase the struggle because they know that's where they find out who they really are. When you set out to do something great, you have to understand it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You will have to outlast your competition. You will have to outwork them. You will have to outbelieve them. Champions keep showing up. Champions keep showing up. Champions keep swinging even when they keep missing. Champions keep climbing even when their legs are shaking. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. It's the staircase. It's the lesson. It's the preparation. Stop waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. The opportunity is now. The grind is now. The building happens now. Champions don't hesitate. They don't procrastinate. They act, they move, they push. They get up and go to work every day after day, year. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You don't have to know everything. You just have to be willing to learn. You don't have to be the most gifted. You just have to be the most relentless. You don't have to have all the support. You just have to be your own biggest fan. Champions understand that greatness is built in the dark. It's built when nobody sees you. It's built in the quiet sacrifices that no one claps for. So if you want to be a champion, stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the feeling. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Save yourself. Save yourself. Push yourself. Build yourself. Because champions are not born. They are built. They are built by every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice, every setback, every comeback, every drop of sweat, every tear, every ounce of discipline, and every choice to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. Champions are built in the fire. They are built in the storm. They are built in the grind. And if you are willing to pay the price, if you are willing to push past your limits, if you are willing to keep going when everyone else stops, then you too can be a champion. You too can build the life you've dreamed of. You too can rise because champions are built, not born.